Hi, I'm Lfoltos, and I'd like to share some of my ideas about why collaboration is important to improve teaching and learning, and how coaching is one effective methodology that helps make that collaboration effective. If you look at the quotes that are on the screen right now, it's clear that leading educational researchers believe that collaboration is the key to improving teaching and learning. Unfortunately, for many American teachers, this idea of collaboration is an abstract concept. They work largely in isolation. As Bruce Joyce once said, in America, teaching's the second most private act. So, how do we turn this abstract idea into some kind of practical strategy that unlocks the power of collaboration? Well, one way is to use a well-prepared teacher, a teacher who's just down the hall when needed, a teacher who can provide just enough just-in-time assistance, who can co-plan learning activities, who can model or team teach so that their peers can see what effective instruction looks like, or perhaps they can observe a peer and then lead the reflection afterwards. This peer, this well-prepared peer, is often a peer coach. And I've been lucky enough to work for more than 10 years with highly qualified peer coaches from around the world. Based on this experience, I know that coaches have the ability, they have the capability to help their peers to improve teaching and learning. So how does a coach help peer develop the capacity or the capability to improve? Well, we've talked about a couple of strategies when we talked, for example, about co-teaching. But I want to explore just one aspect of a coaching relationship. One aspect, that is the coach providing support, so we can begin to see what makes coaching effective. Let's think for a minute, though, from the perspective of coaches about what the term support means. If you talk to successful coaches, it's really clear that they understand that the coach can't take on the role of expert. As one Welsh coach once told me, if you take on the role of experts, your peers are going to see you as being up on a pedestal, and somehow they'll feel that they're inferior. An American coach once told me, you really can't be an expert very often. If you are, you won't have anybody in your coaching circle. So, if you listen to what teachers that collaborate with coaches say, you're going to hear more or less the same thing. Not once have I ever heard a teacher who collaborates with a coach say, thank goodness I have somebody coming into my classroom to tell me what to think or what to do and how to do it. Instead, they talk about how much they like learning with and from their peers, their peer coach. Well, there's another reason that coaches really can't take on the role of expert. As one American coach told me not long ago, if you tell your peers what to do too often, then your peers are basically going to sit back. They're going to let the coach do all the work. They're going to let the coach take responsibility for learning. She once said to me, if you really want to make sure that your peers are in a position where they take responsibility for learning, you can't be the expert. So there's the key. Who's responsible for the ownership of learning? And it can't be the coach, because too much reliance on the coach as expert can actually produce learned helplessness on the part of their peers. So how do coaches provide support if they're not going to take on the role of expert? Well, they rely on inquiry. As one coach told me, I listen to my peers' questions, my friends' questions, and I know I can answer them, but I don't. Instead, I respond with questions that are designed to get them to think more deeply about their issues. I want the answer that they come up with to be their answer. So there's the key. You need to make the learner responsible for their own learning if you want to build their capacity to make learning more innovative. So inquiry then causes the peer to think more deeply about issues and to develop their own answers. So, if you want to build a teacher's capacity to improve teaching and learning, one strategy is to use a coach, a highly skilled peer coach who knows how to use inquiry to unlock the power of collaboration.